So I'm Tim, and I'm from Montclair, New Jersey. I came out in 3 sort of separate occasions over a summer. The first one was, I think I might be gay, and the second one was, I'm gay, and the third one was, yeah, no, I am. I really am gay, and this is irreversible. I remember going through kind of a checklist of, okay, what does it mean to be a gay man, and what are the things I need to sort of abide by to sort of not just convince my parents or my family or my community, but also to convince the world I am a valid gay man. This is who I am. That checklist I know included things like you gotta go clubbing, you gotta go to the gay bars, because that's what you're expected to do. And you have to start dressing a little bit better than you did. The third one was kind of you need to start having sex like a gay man, which I interpreted as you need to be into anal sex. So when I was 18, 19, I had just finished school in Indiana. My senior year, I started writing about theater, mostly like critical theory, and people were like, "You're really good at this." And I went, "Oh, maybe I should try being a playwright or try like writing for the theater." And I looked around and I went, the best place to do that to me feels like London. Then I went to study in London, and I started exploring what it was to live that checklist. I was very inexperienced, I guess, at that point as well. And I was very much in a place that I was still trying to accept who I was and accept that I was queer, that I was gay, and that I could be a sexual being. I had some anal sex for the first time, and it was very strange to me. It wasn't something that came natural to me, and it was something that was sort of uncomfortable. I never got pleasure from it, but everyone else seemed very pleased after these encounters. It became a very difficult thing for me, where I started to dread having sex or sexual encounters, because they always ended in I want to have anal sex and you don't want to. And then I actually met sort of, I would say, my most substantial relationship. I met him there. We were writing a musical together. But when we started like having a lot of sex and a lot of anal sex, it would tire me out because I felt like I had to perform. And so performing night after night, I was like, I would like to not perform tonight. But I didn't know how to say that other than let's not tonight, because I was very nervous, like still about being perceived as a real gay man and being perceived as, you know, sexually adequate. I remember sometimes lying there after we had had sex and being told, you know, oh, you're so repressed, you just need to get over it. Or, you know, like, that was really good. I don't understand why you didn't enjoy it. So those things, you know, especially in a moment where I was already feeling very vulnerable, that made a really deep impression on me. And I think after we ended things, when I went back on the apps in London and in the States, when I got back, it was very much always, I was even like reaching out to people knowing that I would enjoy it to a point, and then there would be the sort of final chapter that I didn't enjoy, and that was just the way it was going to go. I had come back from London. It was my first apartment on my own. I messaged the guy and he was like, I'm here on business just for the night, come over to my hotel. So I went to the hotel and we had a nice conversation. And then it started getting a little more intimate, it started getting a little more physical. And I just kind of went with the flow. We were making out, and then we basically just lay there. And we had, there was lots of grinding, there was frottage, and then we finished. And I remember just as we were getting like to climax, and I got really tense in that moment. And I remember him just looking, he was like, why are you so tense? Just relax. And I did, and of course it was one of like the best sexual experience I had had so far. And it was kind of just this light bulb that went off, that went, not everyone is going to ask you to do something you don't want to do. And sex doesn't have to be this checklist of what is a good gay man and what kind of sex does a good gay man have. This person accepted me as a valid gay man, and it was not anything on the basis of what I did in the bedroom. That was sort of pre-pandemic. And then the pandemic, I know, put kind of a stop all on all of us in terms of meeting people, especially meeting new people. So during that period, I kept remembering that guy and that one encounter, and I started just doing some research on, you know, are there top, bottom, and verse? Are there other terms? And then I came across this man named Joe Court, and he was talking about sides, and he was basically like, these are gay men who don't like penetration. That's not their thing. So I started doing research on sides, and the more I read, and the more like few people I started to talk to, I went, this sounds like who I am. And sort of after the pandemic, I went on the apps and I put it out there and I said, I'm a side, and that's what I like and that's who I am, and it all really changed. I think finding the term side and being able to lean into that was a really big player in shattering those elements of the checklist that I wanted to have. If you are feeling like you're out of place in a community that you think you belong, lean into it. When you lean into it, like, you can really get excited about who you are. And I think also when you lean into something like that, what I found is you attract the people. You attract your people. It should be pleasurable. So if it's not enjoyable, like, you should be enjoying it. It should be great and amazing, and being a side is a totally valid thing.